Hi, I'm Adam Deal from CMIWorship.com, and in this video, I'd like to explain from my perspective how to create an open sound with a piano. A piano is notorious for getting in the way of the sonic space. Let me explain what I mean. We have the full keyboard here, okay? We need to understand that the bass player is playing down here. Maybe lower. Around there. Now we have a guitar playing right here. Or right here, rather. We have a piano playing right here. We have another keyboard playing right here. Like on strings or organ or something. Maybe an electric guitar that's playing right here. And once in a while we'll have somebody up here. When everything's right here, you got to be careful of how thick you get. Okay? So what I'm going to suggest in this is that we play open. We play an open sound. Guitar players have been doing this forever. You might see sometimes on a guitar chart, you see a chord like E5 or A5. That means play an open chord, leave out the third. Okay, so you know a chord is 1, 3, 5. This would be a G, but a G5 would be 1, 5. 2 notes, not 3. You no longer play the triad. This makes an open sound if you leave out the third. Here's the key phrase for today's broadcast. Memorize this. If you want to play an open sound on a piano, you have to remember, thirds are for nerds. So, what you want to do, in my opinion, the best way to do this is by realizing what key your song is in, and then play the 5, 1, 5 with your right hand. So, let's go with the example. If you're in the key of C, that's easy for us to think about. If you're in the key of C, the 5 would be a G. C, D, E, F, G. So you play a G, which is your 5, a C, which is your 1, and then another G, like this. And basically, you can stay right there for every chord in the key of C, as long as you change your bass note with your left hand. This would be a C. I have a C in the bass. I have a C in the bass and then a 5, 1, 5. If I play an A minor, the 6th chord, I change that note, and here I don't change anything. And I have a 7, 3, 7. But still a 5, 1, 5 in the key. If I play an F chord, the 4, this becomes a 2 and a 5, and then another 2, of course. Now, 5 is a tricky one. When I go to the G chord, that creates a 1, 4, 1 for that chord. And that's good if you want the suspended sound. If you don't, make your 4 a 5 for this chord. Either way. So let's say you know the song. Okay, you're a piano player. Of course you know that song. But the left-hander you know is. Check it out. In the open sound, it sounds fuller. I'm not going to play anything except 5, 1, 5 in my right hand. I'm going to change only my left hand. Listen to how the brain fills in the whole chord. Listen to how the brain does it when you change your left hand. Now that's not all that exciting, so I like to tinkle it up a little bit, like this. So I'm playing the 5-1-5 in the key of C, but I'm going up to the D often. So when it's just the right hand, that's all it is. That's all it is. And that's boring by itself, but the left hand changes everything. To me, that has a much more open sound. It doesn't muddy up the middle. It just kind of leaves everything open. And that's why I say thirds are for nerds. Not really. If you like to play the thirds, you're not a nerd. You're good enough, you're smart enough, and people do like you. However, I don't like the thirds so much. Not all, yeah, I play them, but not. When you want to sound open, you got to leave out the third. Let me give you a couple examples in worship music. This one is I'm Trading My Sorrows. I'm going to play it in the key of A, so I play 5-1-5 in the key of A. For copyright purposes, I'm trying not to say a lot of the words, but I assume that you know them. Da 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 da. Extra little ditty there. Let me explain that. In the context of my 5-1-5, I'd already explained how sometimes I take the 1 up to the 2 a few times. But I also go down to the 7 sometimes, so. So that's Trading My Sorrows. Now, that's great for a fast song. However, the open sound works for everything. That's why it's so wonderful. Let me give you an example with We Fall Down. You know the... But, you know, you don't play the melody when you're playing the piano. So in the key of D, I would play 5-1-5 and change my bass notes. We cry, holy, holy, holy. Okay, I blew it, so we'll just keep going. That is We Fall Down. So this open sound thing works for, like, always. So I hope you can use it. It also works very good for the second keyboard that's doing like a strings or a pad or an organ. The open sound is extremely important for them, almost more important than for a piano. And I'm going to make another video on that as well, so make sure you tune in to CMIWorship.com. Over in the right sidebar, which might be there, I'm not sure. Yeah, that would be that way when the video goes up. The right sidebar right here on CMIWorship.com, there's an area to subscribe via email. So you're going to want to do that on CMIWorship.com. And one more thing before I sign off. That can make, man, this can make you sound so muddy. And I hear keyboard players do it all the time. When you're playing the piano, you need to use your damper pedal, because this sounds really lame. Like, this sounds better with the pedal. But when you change chords, you have to lift your pedal up all the way. Because if you don't lift your pedal up all the way, you still have a little bit of the previous chord still hanging on, and it muddies everything up. So every time you, like when you go to switch chords, the pedal should come all the way up, damper everything, and then come down. That's another big thing that I forgot to mention earlier. So that is all. Tune in next time on CMIWorship.com.